So our Barolo on the list. Quick look at the label first. So there's a few things going on here, but let's break down the most important. At the top we have Barolo, and we're going to talk more about that in just a minute, but that's the area that the wine is from. And then here we have the commune Serralunga de Alba, and that is the sub-commune, the small region within Barolo that this particular wine is grown and made. At the bottom, Fontanafredda, which is the producer. So producer, sub-region and greater region. So the pronunciation that we're going to focus on here is what the guest is going to order, which is Barolo. Barolo. And Barolo is in the northwest of Italy, in the greater wine growing region of Piemonte. And Barolo is probably the most significant wine growing region for the grape variety Nebbiolo. So Nebbiolo isn't just grown in Barolo, but Barolo is kind of its most significant wine growing region. And the wine styles of Nebbiolo coming from Barolo that you tend to get are big full-bodied wines. Not always that high in alcohol. This one's only 13.5%, but high in tannins and high in fruit density and complexity. Great long finishes, but lots of kind of varieties of fruit on the palate. Also some involvement in the oak, so some spice and almost some leathery coming through in the wine. Now, from a food perspective, this wine is best served with foods that are going to help cut through the wine with the fat of the food, and that's things like a steak, or if we're in Italy, an ossobuco or a ribeye or something like that. It does pair well with some other foods, but mainly that kind of steak characteristic of a meal. It's not the sort of red wine that I would encourage guests to drink without food. Service perspective, the perfect serve for this wine absolutely is a Bordeaux glass, and that's the tall brasserie fine wine glass. And if there's no other wine on our wine list that is going to benefit more from decanting, it is this Barolo. So absolutely one wine that I would highly recommend is decanted for our guests at the table, because the Barolo, the Nebbiolo and Barolo need that oxidation to really soften the wine up to be most enjoyed by the guest. So definite service is the Bordeaux glass, and highly recommended to the guest is this wine is decanted before it's drunk.